Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome. We will begin chapter 17 from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila today. Chapter is called The Lord Travels to Vṛndāvana. Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langayate rigirim yat kripatamam vande Shri Gurum Deen Tarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. So brief summary of the chapter is, the following summary of the 17th chapter is given by Bhakti Vinod Thakur in his Amrit Pravah Bhashya. After attending the Rath Yatra ceremony of Sri Jagannath, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decided to start from Vrindavan. Sri Ramananda Rai and Swarup Damodar Goswami selected a Brahman named Balbhadra Bhattacharya to personally assist Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Early in the morning before sunrise, the Lord started for the town of Cuttack. North of Cuttack, he penetrated a dense forest and came upon many tigers and elephants, whom he engaged in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Whenever the Lord had a chance to visit a village, Balbhadra Bhattacharya would beg alms and acquire some rice and vegetables. If there were no village, Balbhadra would cook whatever rice remained and collect some spinach from the forest for the Lord to eat. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very pleased with the behavior of Balbhadra Bhattacharya. In this way, the Lord passed through the jungle of Jharkhand, the present Jharkhand, and finally reached Varanasi. After taking his bath at the Manikarnika Ghat at Varanasi, he met Tapan Mishra, who took the Lord to his place and respectfully gave him a comfortable residence. At Varanasi, Vaidya Chandrasekhar, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's old friend, also rendered service unto him. Seeing the behavior of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, a Maharashtrian Brahman informed Prakashananda Saraswati, the leader of the Mayavadi sannyasis. Prakashananda made various accusations against the Lord. The Maharashtrian Mahabrahman was very sorry about this, and he brought the news to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, inquiring from him why the Mayavadi sannyasis did not utter the holy name of Krishna. In reply, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that they were offenders and that one should not associate with them. In this way, the Lord bestowed his blessings upon the Brahmana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu next passed through the Prayag and Mathura and then took his lunch at the home of Sanodia Brahman, a disciple of Madhavendra Puri. He bestowed his blessings upon the Brahman by accepting lunch at his place. Thereafter, the Lord visited the 12 forests of Vrindavan and was filled with great ecstatic love. As he toured the Vrindavan forests, he heard the chirping of parrots and other birds. So let's begin. Verse number 1. Gachan Vrindavanam Gaurav Vyagre Bhaina Khagan Vane Premon Mattan Sahno Rityan Vidadhe Krishna Jalpinaha. On his way to Vrindavan, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed through the forest of Jharkhand and made all the tigers, elephants, deer, and birds chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and dance. Thus all these animals were overwhelmed by ecstatic love. And there's a famous painting which we see where Mahaprabhu is chanting and dancing with the animals in the forest. Jai Jai Gaurachandra Jai Nityananda Jai Dvaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhaktivinoda. This is verse number 2. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to Lord Nityananda, all glories to Advaita Chandra, and all glories to all the devotees of the Lord. Verse number 3. Sharat Kala Haila Prabhura Chalita Haila Mati Ramananda Swarupa Sanghe Nibrite Yukti. When autumn arrived, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decided to go to Vrindavan. In a solitary place, he consulted with Ramananda Rai and Swarup Damodar Goswami. Verse number 4. Mora sahaye kara yadi tumi dui jana tabe ami yan dekhi Shri Vrindavan. The Lord requested Ramananda Rai and Swarup Damodar Goswami to help him to go to Vrindavan. Verse number 5. Ratre uti vanapathe palana yaba yab ekaki yaiba kahun sange nal iba. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I shall leave early in the morning and go incognito, taking the road through the forest. I shall go alone. I shall not take anyone with me. Verse number 6. Keha yadi sangalaite pache uti dhaya sabare rakhiba yena keha nahi yai. If someone wants to follow me, please stop him. I don't want anyone to go with me. Verse number 7. Prasanna hena ajna diba na maniba dukha toma sabar sukhe pathe habe mor sukha. Please give me your permission with great pleasure and do not be unhappy. If you are happy, I shall be happy on my way to Vṛndāvana. Verse 8. Dui jana kahe tumi Ishwar swatantra yei ichha se kariba naha paratantra. Upon hearing this, Ramananda Rai and Swarup Damodar Goswami replied, Dear Lord, you are completely independent. Since you are not dependent on anyone, you will do whatever you desire. Verse 9. Kintu ama dunhar shuna ek nivedane tomar sukhe amar sukha kaila apne. Dear Lord, kindly hear our one petition. You already said that you will derive happiness from our happiness. This is your own statement. Verse 10. Ama dunhar mane tahe bada sukha haya ek nivedana yadi thara dayamay. If you will please accept just one request, we shall be very happy. Verse 11. Uttam Brahmana eka sanga avashya chahi bhiksha kari bhiksha dibe yabe patra vahi. Our Lord, please take one very nice Brahmana with you. He will collect alms for you, cook for you, give you prasadam and carry your water pot while traveling. Verse 12. Vanapathe yaite nahi bhojyana brahmana ajna kara sange chaluka vipra ekajana. When you go through the jungle, there will be no brahmana available from whom you can accept lunch. Therefore, please give permission for at least one pure Brahman to accompany you. Verse 13. Prabhu kahe nij sangi kanho na leiba ek jane nile aner mane dukha haiba. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I shall not take any of my associates with me, because if I choose someone, all the others will be unhappy. Verse 14. Nutana sangi ha ibeka snigdha yanra mana aiche yabe pali tabe lai eka jana. Such a person must be a new man, and he must have a peaceful mind. If I can obtain such a man, I shall agree to take him with me. Purport. Formerly, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to South India, a Brahman named Kala Krishnadas went with him. Kala Krishnadas fell victim to a woman, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had to take the trouble to free him from the clutches of the gypsies. Therefore, the Lord here says that he wants a new man who is peaceful in mind. One whose mind is not peaceful is agitated by certain drives, especially sex desire, even though he be in the company of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Such a man will become victim of women and will fall down even in the company of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Maya is so strong that unless one is determined and not to fall victim, even the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot give protection. The Supreme Lord and his representative always want to give protection, but a person must take advantage of their personal contact. If one thinks that the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his representative is an ordinary man, he will certainly fall down. Thus, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not want a person like Kala Krishnadas to accompany him. He wanted someone who was determined, who had a peaceful mind, and who was not agitated by the ulterior motives. Verse 15. Swarup kahe ei Balabhadra Bhattacharya tomate susnikta bada pandita sadhu arya. Swarup Damodar then said, here is Balabhadra Bhattacharya, who has great love for you. He's an honest, learned scholar and is advanced in spiritual consciousness. Purport. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted a new man, not a person like Kala Krishnadas who would fall for women. Swarup Damodar therefore immediately pointed out a new Brahmana named Balabhadra Bhattacharya. Sri Swarup Damodar Goswami had studied this person very thoroughly and had seen that he had a great love for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Not only did he love the Lord, but he was also learned and honest. He was not duplicitous, and he was advanced in Krishna consciousness. According to a Bengali proverb, Ati Bhakti Korera Lakshana, too much devotion is a symptom of a thief. A person who assumes himself to be a great devotee but mentally is thinking of something else is duplicitous. One who is not duplicitous is called sadhu. Swarup Damodar immediately pointed out that Balabhadra Bhattacharya was quite fit to accompany the Lord, because he was a learned scholar and was simple and had a great love for Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was also advanced in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, he was considered appropriate for accompanying the Lord as a personal servant. The word snigdha, very peaceful, and susnigdha, affectionate, are used in verses 14 and 15 respectively, and they are also found in Sri Bhagavatam 1.1.18. Bruhya snigdhasya shishyasya guravo guhyam api uta. A disciple who has actual love for his spiritual master is endowed by the blessings of the spiritual master with all the confidential knowledge. Sridhar Swami has commented that word snigdhasya means premavatah. The word premavatah indicates that one has a great love for his spiritual master. Verse 16. Prathame tuma sange aila goda haite inhar ichha ache sarva tirtha karite. In the beginning, he came with you from Bengal. It is his desire to visit and see all the holy places of pilgrimage. Verse 17. Inhar sange ache vipra eka bhritya inho pathe karibena seva bhiksha kritya. In addition, you may take another Brahman who will act as a servant en route and make arrangements for your food. Verse 18. Inhare sange lahayadi sabar hai sukha vanapathe yaite tomar nahi be kon dukha. If you can also take him with you, he will be very happy. If two people go with you through the jungle, there will certainly be no difficulty or inconvenience. Verse 19. Say vipra vahi nabi nibe vastrambu bhajana bhattacharya bhiksha dibe kari bhikshatana. The other Brahman can carry your cloth and water pot. The Balbhadra will carry arms and cook for you. Verse 20. Tanhar vachan prabhu angikar kaila Balbhadra Bhattacharya sangi kari nila. Thus Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the request of Swarup Damodar Pandit and agreed to take Balbhadra Bhattacharya with him. Verse 21. Purva Ratre Jagannath dekhi Ajna Lena Shesh Ratre Uthi Prabhu Chalila Lukana. On the previous night, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had visited Lord Jagannath and taken his permission. Now, near the end of the night, the Lord got up and started. Immediately, he was not seen by the others. Verse 22. Pratah kale bhakta gana prabhu na dekhiya anveshana kari phire vyakul hena. Because of Lord had departed, the devotees, unable to see him early in the morning, began to search for him with great anxiety. Verse 23. Swarupa Gosani Sabai Kaila Nivarana Nivritta Hena Rahe Sape Chani Prabhuramana. While all the devotees were searching for the Lord, Swarup Damodar restrained them, thus everyone fell silent, knowing the mind of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Verse 24. Prasiddha patha chhadi Prabhu uppathe chalila, katak dahine kari vane praveshila. The Lord abandoned walking on the well-known public road and went instead along a bypass. He thus kept the city of Katak on his right as he entered the forest. Moving on to verse number 25. Nirjana vane chale Prabhu Krishna naam lena hasti vyagraha patha chhade Prabhu re dekhiya. When Lord passed through the solitary forest chanting the holy name of Krishna, the tigers and elephants, seeing him, gave way. Verse 26. Pale pale vyagraha hasti gandrar shukar gana tare madhye aveshe Prabhu karila gamana. When the Lord passed through the jungle in a great ecstasy, packs of tigers, elephants, rhinoceros, and boars came, and the Lord passed right through them. Verse 27. Dekhi bhattacharya mane haya mahabhaya prabhura pratape tara ek pash haya. Balbhadra Bhattacharya was very much afraid to see them, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's influence, all the animals stood to one side. Verse 28. Ekadina pate vyagraha kariyache shayana aveshe tar gaye prabhura lagili charana. One day tiger was lying on the path, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, walking along the path in ecstatic love, touched the tiger with his feet. Verse 29. Prabhu kahe kaha Krishna vyagraha uthila, Krishna Krishna kahi vyagraha nachite lagila. The Lord said, chant the holy name of Krishna. The tiger immediately got up and began to dance and chant Krishna Krishna. Verse 30. Aradhine Mahaprabhu kare nadi snana matta hasti yutha ailaya karite jalpana. Another day, while Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was bathing in the river, a herd of maddened elephants came there to drink water. Verse 31. Prabhu jal kritya kare aage hasti aila, Krishna kaha bali Prabhu jal pheli marila. While the Lord was bathing and murmuring the Gayatri Mantra, the elephants came before him. The Lord immediately splashed some water on the elephants and asked them to chant the name of Krishna. Purport by His Divine Grace Bhakti Vedanta Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a supreme personality of Godhead, playing the part of a very great advanced devotee. On the Mahabhagavad platform, the Lord devotee makes no distinction between family, enemies and friends. On that platform, he sees everyone as servant of Krishna, as stated in Bhagavad-Gita 5.18. Vidya vinay sampanne brahmane gavi hastini shuni jaiva swapake cha panditaha samadarshinaha. The humble sages, by the virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision the learned and gentle Brahman, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog-eater. The Mahabhagavad, being learned and advanced in spiritual consciousness, sees no difference between a tiger, an elephant, and learned scholar. The test of advanced spiritual consciousness is that one becomes fearless, he envies no one, and he is always engaged in the Lord's service. He sees every living entity as an eternal part and parcel of Lord, rendering service according to his capacity by the will of the Supreme Lord, as Krishna confirms in Bhagavad-Gita 15.15. Sarvasya chaham ridhi sannivishto mattah smritir jnanam apohanam cha. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. The Mahabhagavad knows that Krishna is in everyone's heart. Krishna is dictating, and the living entity is following his dictation. Krishna is within the heart of the tiger, elephant and boar. Therefore, Krishna tells them, here is a Mahabhagavat, please do not disturb him. Why then should the animals be envious of such a great personality? Those who are neophytes or even a little progressed in devotional service should not try to imitate the Mahabhagavata. Rather, they should only follow in his footsteps. The word anukara means imitating and anusara means trying to follow in the footsteps. We should not try to imitate the activities of a Mahabhagavata of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Our best efforts should be exerted in trying to following them according to our ability. The Mahabhagavat's heart is completely free from material contaminations and he can become very dear even to fierce animals like tigers and elephants. Indeed, the Mahabhagavat treats them as his very... The Mahabhagavat knows that Krishna is in everyone's heart, Krishna is dictating, and the living entity is following his dictations. Krishna is within the heart of tiger, elephant and boar. Therefore, Krishna tells him, here is Mahabhagavat, please do not disturb him. Why then should the animals be envious of such a personality? Those who are neophytes or even a little progressed in devotional service should not try to imitate the Mahabhagavat. Rather, they should only follow in the footsteps. The word anukar means imitating and anusara means trying to follow in the footsteps. We should not try to imitate activities of a Mahabhagavat or Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Our best effort should be exerted in trying to follow them according to our ability. The Mahabhagavat's heart is completely freed from material contamination and he can become very dear even to fierce animals like tigers and elephants. Indeed, the Mahabhagavat treats them as his very intimate friends. On this platform, there is no question of envy. When the Lord was passing through the forest, he was in ecstasy, thinking the forest to be Vṛndāvana. He was simply searching for Krishna. Verse 32, Say Jala Bindu Kana Lage Yar Gaya, say Krishna, Krishna Kahe Prem Nache Gai. The elephants whose bodies were touched by the water splashed by the Lord began to chant Krishna, Krishna and dance and sing in ecstasy. Verse 34. Verse 33. Keha bhume pade, keha kare chitkar, dekhi bhattacharya mane haya chamatkar. Some of the elephants fell to the ground and some screamed in ecstasy. Seeing this, Balbhadra Bhattacharya was completely astonished. Verse 34. Pathe yaite kare prabhu ucha sankirtana madhur kantha dhvani shuni aise mrigikana. Sometimes Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted very loudly while passing through the jungle. Hearing his sweet voice, all the does came near him. Verse 35. Dahine vame dhvani shuni yaye prabhu sange, prabhu tar anga muche shloka pade range. Hearing the Lord's great vibration, all the does followed him left and right while reciting a word. With curiosity, the Lord patted them. Verse 35, verse number 30. Verse number 36. It's just showing a little bit of lag here. Let's hope it loads up. So, okay, we will try to give it a few more seconds, see if it's going to... Yes, the verse is here, verse number 36. Dhanya sma mudha matayo api harinya eta yananda nandanam upat vichitra vesham akaranya venu ranitam sah Krishna saraha pujam dadhur virachitam pranayavakolai avalokai. Blessed are the these foolish deer, because they have approached Maharaj Nanda's son, who is gorgeously dressed and is playing on his flute. Indeed, both the does and the bucks worship the Lord with looks of love and affection. Purport: this is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10.21.11 spoken by the gopis of Vṛndāvan. Verse 37 Hena kale vyagraha tatha aila panch sat vyagraha mrigi mile chale Mahaprabhura sat. While Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was passing through the jungle, 5 or 7 tigers came, joining the deer. The tigers began to follow the Lord. Verse 38 Dekhi Mahaprabhura Vṛndāvan smriti haila Vṛndāvan guna varanana shloka padila. Seeing the tigers and deers following him, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately remembered the land of Vṛndāvan. He then began to recite a verse describing the transcendental quality of Vṛndāvan. Verse 39 Yatras naisarga durvairaha sahasan mrigadayah mitrani vajitavas dhruta rat darshanadi dikam. Vṛndāvan is a transcendental abode of the Lord. There is no hunger, anger or thirst there, though naturally inimical human beings and fierce animals live together there in transcendental worship. Purport: this is a statement from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.13.60. After stealing the cowherd boys and calves of Sri Krishna, Lord Brahma kept them asleep and hid them. After a moment, Brahma returned to see Krishna's condition. When he saw that Krishna was still busy with his cowherd boyfriends and animals and was not disturbed, Lord Brahma appreciated the transcendental opulence of Vṛndāvan. Verse 40 Krishna Krishna kaha kari Prabhu yabe balila Krishna kahi vyagraha mriga nachite lagila. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said chant Krishna Krishna, the tigers and deer began to chant Krishna and dance. Verse 41 Nache kunde vyagraha ganamrigi ganasange Balbhadra bhattacharya dekhe apurva range. When all the tigers and does dance and jump, Balbhadra bhattacharya saw them and was struck with wonder. Verse 42 Vyagraha mriga aniyone kare alingana mukha diya kare aniyone chumbana. Indeed, the tigers and deer began to embrace one another, and touching mouths they began to kiss. Verse 43 Kautuka dekhiya Prabhu hasite lagila ta sabake tahan chadi age chali gela. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw all this fun, he began to smile. Finally, he left the animals and continued on his way. Verse 44 Mayuradi Pakshi Gana Prabhure Dekhiya Sange Chale Krishna Bali Nache Mattahena. Various birds, including the peacocks, saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and began to follow him, chanting and dancing. They were all maddened by the holy name of Krishna. Verse 45 Hari Bola Bali Prabhu Kare Uchadhvani Vrikshalata Prafulita Se Dhvani Shuni. When the Lord loudly chanted Haribol, the trees and creepers became jubilant to hear him. Purport: the loud chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra is so powerful that it can even penetrate the ears of trees and creepers. What to speak of those animals and human beings? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu once asked Haridas Thakur how trees and plants would be delivered, and Haridas Thakur replied that the loud chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra would benefit not only trees and plants but insects and all other living beings. One should therefore not be disturbed by the loud chanting of Hare Krishna, for it is beneficial not only to the chanter but everyone who gets opportunity to hear it. Verse 46 Jharikhande sthavara jangam ache yata Krishnam diya kaila premete unmatta. Thus all living entities in the forests of Jharikhand, some moving and some still standing, became maddened by the hearing of holy name of the Lord Krishna, vibrated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Purport: the great forest of Jharikhand is a great tract of land including Atagada, Dhena, Kanala, Angula, Lahar, Kiyanjhada, Bamada, Bonai, Gangapura, Chota Nagpur, Yashpur and Sargoja. All these places, which are covered with mountains and jungles, are known as Jharikhand. Verse number 47 Ye grama diya yahan karena sthiti se sabha gramera lokera haya prema bhakti. In all the villages through which the Lord passed and in all the places he rested on his journey, everyone was purified and awakened to ecstatic love of God. Verse 48 and 49 Keha yadi tandra mukhe shune Krishna naam, tandra mukhe ana shune, tandra mukhe ana. Sabhe Krishna Hari Bali nache kande hase paramparaya Vaishnav haila sarvateshe. When some heard the chanting of the holy name from the mouth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and someone else heard this chanting from the second person, and someone again heard this chanting from the third person, everyone in all countries became a Vaishnav through such disciplic succession. Thus everyone chanted the holy name of Krishna and Hari, and the danced, cried and smiled. Purport: the transcendental potency of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is herein explained. First, the holy name is vibrated by Mahaprabhu, then someone hears from him directly. He is purified. When another person hears from that person, he is also purified. In this way, the purification process is advanced among pure devotees. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and no one can claim his potency. Nonetheless, if one is a pure devotee, hundreds and thousands of men can be purified by his vibration. This potency is within every living being, provided he chants the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra offenselessly and without material motives. When a pure devotee chants offenselessly, another person will become a Vaishnava, and from him another Vaishnava will emerge. This is the Parampara system. Verse 50. Yadyapi Prabhu Lok Sanghatera Trase Prema Gupta Karena Bahire Na Prakashit. The Lord did not always manifest his ecstasy. Being afraid of great assembly of people, the Lord kept his ecstasy concealed. Verse 51. Tathapi Tandra Darshana Shravana Prabhave Sakal Deshera Lok Haila Vaishnave. Although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not manifest his natural ecstatic love, everyone became a pure devotee simply by seeing and hearing him. Purport: Srila Rupa Goswami has described Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Mahavadanya Avatara, the most munificent incarnation. Although Mahaprabhu is not physically present now, simply by chanting his holy name, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advait Gadadhar, Sri Vasudeva or Bhakta Vrinda, people throughout the world are becoming devotees. This is due to the ecstatic chanting of the holy name of the Lord. It is said that a pure devotee can see the Lord at every moment, and because of this he is empowered by the Lord. This is confirmed in the Brahma Samhita 5.38, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santah Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared 500 years ago, but it cannot be said that now that the potency of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is less than it was in his presence. By hearing the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through the Parampara system, one can be purified. Therefore, in this verse it is said, Tathapi Tandra Darshana Shravana Prabhave. It is not that everyone is able to see Krishna or Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu physically, but if one hears about him through books like Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and through the Parampara system of pure Vaishnavas, there is no difficulty to become a pure devotee, pure Vaishnava, free from mundane desires and personal motivations. Verse 52. Goda Banga Utkala Dakshin Deshe Giya Lokera Nistara Kaila Apane Brahmiya. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally toured Bengal, East Bengal, Orissa and southern countries, and he delivered all kinds of people by spreading Krishna consciousness. Verse 53. Mathura Yaibar Chale Asena Jharkhand Bhilla Prayalok Tahan Param Pasand. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Jharkhand, on his way to Mathura, he found that the people there were almost uncivilized and they were devoid of God consciousness. Purport: the word Bhila refers to a class of men belonging to Bhils. The Bhils are like black Africans and they are lower than Shudras. Such people generally live in jungle, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had to meet them. Verse 54. Nama Prema Diya Kaila Sabar Nistar Chaitanyera Gudha Lila Pujite Shakti Kar. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave even the Bhils an opportunity to chant the holy name and come into the platform of ecstatic love. Thus he delivered them all. Who has the power to understand the transcendental pastimes of the Lord? Purport: as evidence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, we are experiencing that the people of Africa are taking to Krishna consciousness, chanting and dancing and taking prasadam like other Vaishnavas. This is all due to the power of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who can understand how this potency is working all over the world. Verse 55, Vanadeki Brahma Haya Ei Vṛndāvana, Shaila Deki Mane Haya Ei Govardhana. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed through the Jharkhand forest, he took it for granted that it was Vrindavan. When he passed over the hills, he took it for granted that they were Govardhan. Verse 56, Yahan Adi Dekhe Taha Mane Kalindi Maha Prema Veshe Nache Prabhu Pade Kandi. Similarly, whenever Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw a river, he immediately accepted it as river Yamuna. Thus, while in the forest, he was filled with great ecstatic love, and he danced and fell down crying. Verse 57, Pathe Yaite Bhattacharya Shak Mula Phala Yahan Se Payena Tahan Layena Sakala. Along the way, Balbhadra Bhattacharya collected all kinds of spinach, roots and fruits whenever possible. Verse 58, Ye grame rahena prabhu tathai brahmana pancha sata jana asi kare nimantrana. Whenever Mahaprabhu visited a village, a few brahmanas, 5 or 7, would come and extend an invitation to the Lord. Verse 59, Keha anna ani deya bhattacharya sthane, Keha dugdha dahi, Keha grita khanda ane. Some people would bring grain and deliver it to Balbhadra Bhattacharya, others would bring milk and yogurt, and still others would bring ghee and sugar. Verse 60, Yahan Vipra Nahi Tahan Shudra Mahajana Asi Sabe Bhattacharya Kare Nimantrana. In some villages there was no Brahman, nonetheless devotees born in non-Brahman families came and extended invitations to Balbhadra Bhattacharya. Purport: actually, a sannyasi or Brahman will not accept an invitation extended by a person born in a lower family. However, there are many devotees who are raised to the platform of Brahmanas by their initiation. These people are called Shudra Mahajan. This indicates that one who is born in a non-Brahman family has accepted the Brahman status by initiation. Such devotees extended invitations to Balbhadra Bhattacharya. A Mayavadi sannyasi will accept an invitation only from Brahman family, but a Vaishnava does not accept an invitation from Brahman if he does not belong to the Vaishnava sect. However, a Vaishnava will accept an invitation from Brahmana or a Shudra Mahajan if that person is an initiated Vaishnava. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself accepted invitations from Shudra Mahajans, and this confirms that anyone initiated by a Vaishnava mantra can be accepted as a Brahmana. One can accept an invitation from such a person. Verse 61, Bhattacharya Pak Kare Vanya Vyanjane Prabhura Anandit Mana. Balbhadra Bhattacharya used to cook all kinds of vegetables gathered from the forest, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very pleased to accept these preparations. Verse 62 and 63, Dui Chari Dinera Anna Rakhena Samati Yahan Shunya Vana Lokere Nahika Vasati Tahan Se Anna Bhattacharya Karapaka Phala Mule Vyanjan Kare Vanya Nana Shaka. Balbhadra Bhattacharya used to keep a stock of grain and would last from 2 to 4 years. Wherever there were no people, and he would cook the grain and prepare vegetables, spinach. He would cook grain and prepare vegetables, spinach, roots and fruits collected from the forest. Verse 64, Param Santosha Prabhura Vanya Bhojane Maha Sukha Pane Ye Dine Rahena Nirjane. The Lord was always very happy to eat these forest vegetables, and he was even happier when he had an opportunity to stay in a solitary place. Verse 65, Bhattacharya Seva Kare Sneha Yaiche Das Tandra Vipra Vahe Jalapatra Bahirvas. Balbhadra Bhattacharya was so affectionate to the Lord that he was rendering service just like a menial servant. His assistant Brahman carried the water pot and garment. Verse 66, Nirjharete Ushunodake Snan Teen Bar Dui Sandhya Agni Tap Kashtera Apar. The Lord used to bathe 3 times a day in the warm water of the waterfalls. He also used to heat himself morning and evening with a fire made with the limitless wood. Verse 67, Nirantar Premaveshe Nirjane Gamana Sukha Anubhavi Prabhu Kahena Vachana. While traveling in this scheduled forest and feeling very happy, Mahaprabhu made the following statement. Shuna Bhattacharya Ami Gilana Bahudesha Vanupathe Dukhera Kahan Nadhi Nahi. Okay. Shuna Bhattacharya Ami Gilana Bahudesha Vanupathe Dukhera Kahan Nahi Pailesha. Pailesha, my dear Bhattacharya, I have traveled very far through the forest and I have not even slightly received any trouble. Verse 69, Krishna Kripalu Amaye Bahut Kripa Kaila Vanapathe Ani Amaye Bada Sukh Dila. Krishna is very merciful, especially to me. He has shown his mercy by bringing me on this path through the forest. Thus he has given me my great pleasure. Verse 70, Purve Vṛndāvane Yaite Karilina Vichaya Mahaganga Bhakta Gane Dekhiba Ek Bar. Before this, I decided to go to Vṛndāvana, and on the way, see my mother, the river Ganges, and other devotees once again. Verse 71, Bhakta Gana Sange Avashya Kariba Milan Bhakta Gane Sange Lena Yaba Vṛndāvan. I thought that once again I would see and meet all the devotees and take them with me to Vṛndāvan. Okay. Verse 72, Eta Bhavi God Deshe Karilun Gamana Mata Gange Ganga Bhukte Rahi. Okay, verse number 72. Eta Bhavi God Deshe Karilun Gamana Mata Ganga Bhakte Dekhi Sukhi Hailamana. Thus I went to Bengal and was very happy to see my mother, the river Ganges, and the devotees. Verse 73. Bhakta Gane Lena Tabe Chalilana Range Lakshakoti Lokagrahan Hailas Amasanke. However, when I started for Vrindavan, many thousands and millions of people gathered and began to go with me. Okay, so seem to have flicked the page. So moving on to next verse. Verse 74, Sanatan Mukhe Krishna Ama Shikhaila Taha Vigna Kari Vanapathe Lena Aila. In this way I was going to Vrindavan with big crowd, but through the mouth of Sanatan, Krishna taught me a lesson. Thus by making some impediment, he has brought me to the Vrindavan on the path through the forest. Verse 75, Kripa Samudra Dina Hine Dayamay Krishna Kripa Vina Kona Sukha Nahi Hai. Krishna is an ocean of mercy. He is especially merciful to the poor and fallen. Without his mercy, there is no possibility of happiness. Verse 76. Bhattacharya Alingiya Tanhari Ghaila Tumar Prasade Ami Eta Sukha Paila. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had embraced Balbhadra Bhattacharya and told him, it is not only by your kindness that I am now so happy. Verse 77, Tenho kahena tumi Krishna tumi dayamay adham jiva muni mor haila sadai. Balbhadra Bhattacharya replied, My dear Lord, you are Krishna himself and therefore you are merciful. I am a fallen living entity, but you have bestowed a great favor upon me. Verse 78, Muni char more tumi sangela lena aila kriya muri hate kripa kari more hate prabhu bhiksha kaila. Sir, I am most fallen, yet you have brought me with you. Showing great mercy, you have accepted food prepared by me. Verse 79, Adham kakere kaila garud saman swatantra ishwar tumi swayam bhagwan. You have made me your carrier Garuda, therefore, although I am no better than condemned crow, thus you are the independent personality of Godhead, the original Lord. Verse 180, Mukam karuti vachalam pangum langhete girim yat kripa tam ham bande Shri Gurum Deen tar. I've got the habit of saying the last bit. Tam aham bande Paramananda Madhavam. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead has the form of Satchid Anand Vigraha, transcendental bliss, knowledge and eternity. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him, who turns the dumb into eloquent speakers and enables the The Supreme Personality of Godhead has the form of Satchidanand Vigraha, transcendental bliss, knowledge and eternity. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him, who turns the dumb into eloquent speaker and enables the lame to cross mountains. Such is the mercy of the Lord. Purport. This is a quotation from Bhavarth Deepika commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.1. Verse 81. E mata Balbhadra Karinas Tavanas Prema Seva Kari Tushta Kaila Prabhu Ramana. In this way, Balbhadra Bhattacharya offered his praise to the Lord by rendering service unto him in ecstatic love. He pacified the Lord's mind. Verse 82, E Mata Nana Sukhe Prabhu Aila Kasi Madhyana Snana Kaila Mani Karnikai Asi. Finally, the Lord arrived with the great happiness at the holy place called Kashi. There he took his bath in the bathing ghat known as Manikarnika. Purport. Kashi is another name for Banaras or Varanasi. It has been a place of pilgrimage since time immemorial. The two rivers named Asi and Varuna merged there. Manikarnika is famous because, according to the opinion of great personalities, a bejeweled earring fell from the ear of Lord Vishnu. According to some, it fell on the ear of Lord Shiva. The word Mani means jewel and Karnika means from the ear. According to some, Lord Vishwanath is the great physician who cures the disease of material existence by delivering a person through the ear, which receives the vibration of the holy name of the Lord Ram. Because of this holy place is called Manikarnika. It is said that there is no better place than where the river Ganges flows, and the bathing ghat known as Manikarnika is especially sanctified because it is very dear to Lord Vishwanath. In the Kashi Khand it is said, Samsari Chinta Manir Atra Yasmat Tarakam Sajjana Karni Kayam Shivo Bidate Sahashasant Kale Tad Giyate Somani Karniketi Mukti Lakshmi Mahapitha Manis Tach Charanabhojya Karnikeyam Tataha Prahur Yam Jana Mani Karnikam. According to this passage from Kashi Khanda, one who gives up his body at Manikarnika is liberated simply by remembering Lord Shiva's name. Verse 83, Sai Kale Tapan Mishra Kare Ganga Snan Prabhu Dekhi Haila Tantra Kichu Vismay Gyan. At that time, Tapan Mishra was taking his bath in the Ganges and he was astonished to see the Lord there. Verse 84, Purve Suniyachi Prabhu Karyachena Sanyas Nishchay Karya Haila Hridaya Ullas. Tapan Mishra then began to think, I have heard that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has accepted the renounced order. Thinking this, Tapan Mishra became very jubilant within his heart. Verse 85, Prabhura Charan Dhari Karena Rodana Prabhu Tare Uttana Kaila Alingana. He then clasped the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and began to cry. The Lord raised him up and embraced him. Verse 86. We will carry on next time. Thank you for joining. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna.